Why purchase a franchise? Most people, when they consider buying into a franchise, most people, when they consider becoming a tutor, either have a background in education or a business background. It's very unusual for someone to have both. If you have an educational background, that's great in the respect that you will know how to structure a lesson, create resources, use appropriate resources, boost child's confidence in that specific area, etc. But actually growing a successful business will be your weakness, and vice versa. When I first started Clara James Tutoring 8 years ago, my background was in education. It's taken 8 years of mentors, studying, courses, reading, etc., to get the business to where it is today. And that's one of the things, if you buy into a franchise, any franchise, that you are in effect taking a shortcut. You're missing out or cutting out the mistakes, the expenses that the original founder came across. So, for example, when I first started the business and I had my first website, I had many people get in touch, or many salesmen get in touch, offering the business to be promoted on the first front page of Google. And what I hadn't realized when they were offering this was that the advert would just be shown to anyone. It wasn't niched down at all. It was literally just shown to hundreds of thousands of people, but it may be that only one or two of those people had any actual interest in looking for a tutor. Whereas in the last 8 years, I've been fortunate enough to learn about Facebook ads rather than just boosting a Facebook post or creating Google Ads, which is more of a pay-per-click approach. And that's what happens there, is that when someone is interested or looking for a tutor and they type it into the Google search bar, tutors in whatever your local town is, Google will show them your website and your details rather than it just being shown to everyone and anyone, and you only then pay for it when people actually look at your advert. If I'd known that from the start, I would have saved an awful lot of money. And there's been other numerous mistakes I've made along the way. But like I say, by buying into a franchise, you would be taking a shortcut. You would have someone else's knowledge base to be able to dive into. You would have someone there to hold your hand and support you. Another example is when I first started tutoring, I used to go to a family and I was worried that the child was possibly being neglected, but working by myself, I didn't know who to turn to for support. And again, if you belong to a franchise or a bigger organization, there will be people that you can turn to for help. And I think that's one of the key things. And so if you do decide to become a tutor, consider joining a franchise, or at the very least, make sure you get a mentor so that there is someone there to guide you, answer your questions, keep you accountable, and ensure the business grows from strength to strength. Can I tutor? Can the franchise be done from home? Yes, it definitely can. The only time that you would ever need to be working away from home is if you are the one to carry out lessons in the comfort of the child's home. If you do, then obviously you will earn more per hour for these ones than you do as a Zoom call. However, you may decide that your role within the franchise is purely to grow a successful business and get other people in to do the tutoring. If that is the route you decide to take, then preparation and everything will be done at home on your computer, which saves you an awful lot of money in rent of an establishment or anything like that, which if you decided to go into a tutoring centre, you would obviously need to pay for the premises. Working from home or from the student's home, that's one less cost to incur.